The competition has become more fierce as more regions are able to battle it out. And earlier in the season, you start to find out who really looks like they are on top of the heap.
Whereas at season 1, everybody was isolated to their region until the World Championships. Now we're getting great cross-pollination throughout the entire UCS season, which is great because it kind of gives each team able to get a pulse on the opposition here. But here we go.
Here
our
we are.
First draft, my friend, of our grand finals at LAIC. Sunday Fun Day on our way.
That's right. Luminosity Gaming is going to be your purple team. Tuzzy Esports is going to be your orange team, which means Luminosity will get the first choice as a Pokemon to pick, as well as the first ban. Tuzzy Esports on the other side will have 2 picks in a row. You will not see a Pokemon on both sides of the board here. So if they do end up taking this Miraidon, which Curios just did for Luminosity Gaming, Tuzzy Esports has no opportunity to grab this. They're going to now pick 2 Pokemon that they would like to either play or also play and steal away from the other side.
Quickly as they lock in Blissey and potentially Umbreon, 2 great support core players in the tank and the healer there. I want to point out they banned Greedent. Luminosity banned Greedent, which is something Tuzzy Esports used all day yesterday to get themselves to this spot.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you're looking at these Pokemon that are banned, some of them are because they're insanely powerful, as you can see Darkrai, Leafeon up there. Some of them are just things you don't want to deal with on the other side. That is Greedent. Mean Greedent, the annoying squirrel. Tuzzy Esports was playing it yesterday to perfection, so they do not want to face down that.
Absolutely not. Back on the side of Luminosity Gaming, support Mew. You see it has the experience share on, but played by Otter, and Trainer locking in Mimikyu, and going back across the way. Pikachu has been a prime pick all weekend long, and Cerulege as well. Its stocks have risen throughout the last 3 days.
Yeah, and as you can see, all of these teams have a couple of Pokemon with that experience share on if you're taking a look at their items. On Tuzzy, it's Umbreon and Blissey. On the side of Luminosity, as you said, it is Mew and Snorlax. Teams often have a defender-type Pokemon, something big and bulky that can help the team soak up damage, and a supporter-type Pokemon, something that is either healing the squad or something that is helping to disrupt the enemy team. So we have a few options here for both of these teams. Interestingly enough, we're seeing Blastoise get played more and more as this tournament's gone on, Doob Snacks. We were talking about this a lot yesterday. As a tournament goes on, it feels like not only the meta of the game is more defined, but almost the meta of the tournament becomes more and more clear. Miraidon, I think, became a huge factor, and Blastoise became a huge factor.
Yeah, Blastoise normally has that defender tag, that defender category associated with it, but it's often taken into the top path you'll see as kind of a top path all-rounder Pokemon, and because it's so bulky, it survives very well early. It can use its stacking items, which actually it's not carrying any, but sometimes defenders carry all stacking items to help boost its stats through the end of the game.
Yeah. Now our teams are loading into the match right now. A pick that really has shined on the side of Luminosity has been Urshifu. I think a lot of teams have not been playing Urshifu. Overlord, one of the best to ever do it, 2-time world champion, carry player for Luminosity Gaming, has been playing Urshifu to perfection. And a lot of teams, I think, have not been practicing against it. It feels like it fell off the map a little bit, and they're bringing it right back as we head into game number 1 of our grand finals here at LAIC. Luminosity Gaming from North America is your purple team, and Tuzzy Esports from Brazil is your orange team.
Looking at Luminosity Gaming going to the bottom path, Miraidon and Snorlax is going to be very difficult to contend with, not only because of the caliber of players, but how good those Pokemon naturally are in the early game. Overlord quickly going to use the help of Otter to clear some of this Pokemon. That Cubfu needs to hit level 5 to get into an Urshifu, because until then, it's kind of not great.
That's right. Cubfu is a sweet little boy, but he is unfortunately not very good at fighting here in Thea Sky Ruins. And as soon as they can get that to level 5, he will evolve into Urshifu, and that will be huge for them. Obviously, Tuzzy Esports wants to stop that any chance they get. They're sending a lot of experience with these wild Pokemon over to the side of Luminosity here as we have our first KO.
John Deco able to get that K opener with Salto and Toad, dispatching of Slash Can, and I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty surprising KO here. Look at the plays. They knew he was hiding in the tall grass. Cerulege getting pushed around by the light screen there from Otter.
850 birds is going to lead to a fight because that's a good amount of experience. Moving in is Fob. Actually, nobody willing to scrap, maybe playing a little nervous here, but there's nothing nervous about where Overlord's going, which is straight at you. They're fighting on pad. Look at them darting through another KO KO for Otter as Chansey goes down. Now they're going to get a lot of points in and really start taking over the top path.
That's right, the aggression there from Luminosity. As soon as that Cupfu became Urshifu, as we talked about, it started diving onto that goal zone. The main objective here in Unite is scoring points and breaking these goals, and that's what they were looking to do there. Pick up some big KOs on the enemy team. Take that Eos energy that they've gathered and score some big-time points. They are now up 38-2 at the start of this match. Miraidon now level 5, by the way, or actually level 6 at this point. At level 5, it unlocks that charge beam, and you can see that crazy amount of lightning damage there.
Everybody pivoting to the middle. Another crop of birds have just populated, and we're going to look if they're going to go for each other or the wild Pokemon. Looks like we're going to focus on the wild Pokemon. Overlord going to keep Salto at bay. Moving straight forward with coaching. Otter is moving through, and they're looking to make a push. Now, Jandeko is very low on HP. The Pikachu sitting on pad might have to eat a full charge beam. Nice reposition, and now Luminosity uses that to take a huge amount of KOs, and let's see how much damage they can do to this goal zone.
Wow, look at this right here. Leaving this goal zone at 1 so they can take someone who has full pockets of Eos energy, score, and break it here whenever they want. 115-16. Luminosity showing you right now why they are the 2-time former world champions at this game.
They are moving very well. No steps lost. Overlord quickly scoring. They want to break this thing and alleviate that opportunity because the first objective is going to hit the map at 7 minutes. Regieleki in the top path and a Reggie in the bottom path randomly spawn.
Yeah, they also have the opportunity for Overlord to use his stacking item there, become more powerful as he continues to score. They break the goal zone. They take that bottom objective. Overlord can stay there by himself while the rest of Luminosity moves to the center to get some experience for Miraidon and defends this top point.
Yeah, they get that Registeel buff just in time for this next fight. They're moving forward. They're jumping on top. Nice Mimikyu Unite. Is that going to end up in a KO? Not quite yet. Foul moving forward, but the charge beam rings true. Able to pick up a couple KOs the other way, make it 2.
Kyrios, one of the best attackers to ever play the game, on top of this former EX Pokemon. Now all of the former EX Pokemon, Mewtwo, Miraidon, Zashi, and Ho-Oh, all of them are available for play here in the UCS. So if you watched us last season and you've not seen some of these Pokemon, here they are now.
They are just fighting Tuzzy on pad here. Salto is trying to grab everyone's attention. Miraidon Unite just for the Salto knockout potential, and they are able to close the door. They're going to try and get this Regieleki before it completely leashes and gains all that HP back. They're about to keep it at half and hopefully send it down the path towards Tuzzy Esports.
Yeah, that's their plan. Send it towards this tier 2 goal zone. But you can look here on the side of Luminosity. They actually don't have a ton of experience. Overlord now bullying this Ceruledge here. They're actually running back through their own central area as Slashcan, the Snorlax, is chasing them in the center.
Yeah, they're just putting pressure all over the map, keeping Tuzzy on their toes. Heavy Slam comes in. Hydro Typhoon only keeps up Slash. We're in the back line. Salto with a nice Unite hits 3, and this is an opportunity to push back. We got the Blastoise looking like 733, using those 2 cannons on its back to get a KO.
Now you can't get too confident if you're Luminosity here. Huge counter push from Tuzzy Esports. They're making their way to this goal zone. Big time Unite move from that Blastoise, and Umbreon set up a huge fight for them. They're going to try to score, but look at that charge beam, stopping all of it. Mew coming in with the Surf, and now Luminosity's back on the push. Huge solar beam, Ceruledge Unite move, but no, picked up by the Mimikyu.
Yeah, I mean, that Ceruledge darted in, just has a big old sheet put on it. Fortunately, Fob looks like they're going to make it out, which is probably the best result they could have asked for. Oh, no, was that a Shadow Sneak across with the sickest pickup ever? I mean, I thought they were getting out scot-free, but trainer said not today.
That Shadow Sneak on Mimikyu, if it's moving through the tall grass and it's moving against these obstacles here on Thea Sky Ruins, it increases its range. And Mimikyu can teleport to its location. It was able to catch the Ceruledge even after a really impressive evasive maneuver there from Tuzzy.
I'm taking a deep breath here because Luminosity Gaming is getting a lot of speed, picking up a lot of steam. Tuzzy Esports finding some moments, but they haven't really materialized into anything quite yet. 4 minutes, mid-birds are here, Electro Balls are chasing everywhere straight into the back line. We are now using a Unite move, and the Urshifu is racking up the hits. Hydro Typhoon's going to put an end to that. Salto's trying to hang tough, but it's 4 players down instantly, and all Jandeko can do is run back to home base and wonder what the heck just happened to my squad.
Yeah, they had the Bliss assistance, they had the Unite moves, but it just wasn't enough to take down Luminosity there. And as you can see on the sides of your screen, the level advantage for Luminosity is getting a little out of control. There's a level 13 Mimikyu right here compared to the level 11s on the other side. And those few levels are massive, secured by the Mew. They're going in, but it looks like they're going in to get KO'd once again as Luminosity is ripping through Tuzzy Esports.
It all started with an amazing secure by Otter. That's the advantage you get by choosing a not true support, but putting that light bulb on it and playing it as one. You still get that great secure tool. Mimikyu Unite is popped immediately. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Good chance they'll get that back. They're putting the pressure on. That goal zone's broken. This lead is egregious. And although we're spinning to win and might get a couple KOs, they are fighting forever over here. 2 players down for LG, and if I'm them, I'm getting out of Dodge because you don't want to give back that comeback experience.
That's right. There's a lot of experience in Pokemon Unite that comes from KOing these wild Pokemon, but there's even more that you can get from KOing enemy player Pokemon, especially if they are a high level. As we saw Overlord on the Urshifu go down here, that sends a ton of experience over to the side of Tuzzy. If you're a higher level Pokemon and you KO a lower level Pokemon, you do get some XP, but not nearly as much as if you were lower level and KO a higher level.
You can see Slashcan's positioning here. There's going to be another basement Reggie populating. It's what we call the bottom path Reggie, as Slashcan is literally just going to try and buy a little time so their team can easily take that off the map and not let Tuzzy really make a play for it. Immediately a block, just knocking back a couple players. And you can see the rest of Luminosity taking that thing immediately.
Yeah, and they took a Reggie steal there, which is going to give them a really powerful special attack and attack boost here, heading towards Rayquaza at the 2-minute mark. It feels like Luminosity Gaming is in total control here in game number 1, hitting that Shadow Sneak, but I do not think he wants to jump into 5 members of Tuzzy.
But that was a nice little stitch of it, jumping right over on top of Overlord. They found them quickly, and they're going to try and dive. That forces Overlord's Unite out, and they're into the back line. Nice combo. Blitz assistance there for the save, but it's not quite enough because here comes Trainer. Now 4 players down, just trying to KO Overlord, and Shandeko again running around. What happened to my team? They have to go in with a Volt Tackle. KO streak of 3 for Trainer. Rayquaza's already at half, and this thing looks over.
That's right. And because of Overlord, this thing is over. Lord, what a fight there from Luminosity Gaming. Extremely impressive, even with the Bliss assistance once again, with the Unite moves being thrown, with the targeted fight there from Tuzzy, they were not able to take them down. And a lot of that has to do with the massive level advantage that Luminosity was able to gain throughout this match. As they have their Rayquaza shields, their scoring is increased in speed, and it's also harder to block until you are able to break those shields. So Luminosity 563 to 16 in our first game, an absolute dominant performance in game number 1.
Yeah, after the 2-minute mark, all the scores you put in become double. So if you're holding 50, you get 100. Hundo Burger, bang. And of course, you can see how that scoreline crawled up a quick 300. As soon as they got Rayquaza unimpeded, they were able to score 100, 100, 100. Now we see they're still going in for another Hundo Burger right there. And now Tuzzy Esports is probably going to use the next 45 seconds, not do much, just chat about that game and give themselves a bit more time to figure out their strategy for the next one.
Yeah, if you're this far behind at this point in the match, there really isn't much you can do. You could run to the other side of the map, see if you can get a few points in, but you know it's kind of a fruitless endeavor. It is time for Tuzzy Esports to be using their comms to discuss what went wrong in this match, how they can adjust heading into game number 2, and if there's anything they can do to shut down this Luminosity squad. One thing's for sure, I think this Urshifu, this rapid strike, the water bear, if you will, has been slept on by the community. Widely considered a bad Pokemon currently, and we are seeing it shine here in our first game of the Grand Finals.
Well, we got to talk to Luminosity yesterday after their game with YT, and you know what they said? We think it's the best thing going. So it's proving that they are right, at least in that game.
Yeah, absolutely stunning performance here to start us off. Luminosity looking like the unbeatable force that we've seen them throughout this tournament. And they are incredibly difficult to shut down, as Tuzzy Esports has just found out.
Yeah, not only that, we are playing on a LAN environment, which means there is no ping going on, which means that you can be even more meticulous with those moves and really extract as much value as possible. And Overlord has shown time and time again on LAN that they can do that.
And here we go, heading into game number 2. Our draft draft. Tuzzy Esports is now going to be our purple team, with our first band. Luminosity Gaming is going to be our orange team. Tuzzy going to kind of dictate the draft a little bit right here. They don't want to see the Leafeon. They don't want to see the Hoopa. Luminosity finally going to get it to decide, do they ban Darkrai once again? And they do. Yes, they do not want to see this new speedster on the other side of the map.
It's incredibly strong, incredibly good. Taking a look at Slowbro, it's Slow Beam, which is essentially a lockdown Unite move that can catch and kind of override all the other ones. They don't want to see that happen to Overlord at all and risk losing that player, so they ban that out instantly. And Jandeko lining up this Mew and going for that as a pick to try and cut off Otter's options. You see the Hoopa ban and now the Mew, and that makes Otter have to go further down on the list.
Yeah, now we're going to have to see how Luminosity wants to react to this right here. Obviously, this Mimikyu has been extremely powerful for Trainer. We also have a possible Blissey being locked in. They don't want to deal with this Bliss assistance again. They're saying, all right, you're going to take our Mew, we're going to take your Blissey, because we actually think it's insanely powerful. For my money, it is the best supporter in the game.
Umbreon quickly selected by Southtail. I want to talk about this Blissey real quick. Slash they won 2 world championships with Slash playing Blissey. It's curious to see, is Otter going to stick with Blissey? Slash going to stick into the true tank role? It looks like yes, as they are hovering Snorlax, but that's also a cool flex that they can make because Otter, up until this point, has been playing attacker and a bunch of other roles, so a lot of flexibility within the squad. Greedent not banned this time, which means it's picked, and Southtown locking in Umbreon again.
Yeah, I love to see Greedent here. Greedent is such a disruptive force out there on Thea Sky Ruins. Greedent is always in the enemy's face, always in their central area, forcing fights they don't want to take, trying to steal all of their berries and their wild Pokemon and trying to steal objectives. It is incredibly annoying, so difficult to deal with, and an absolute joy to play, and sometimes a bit of a nightmare to play against. And we've seen Luminosity actually target ban it earlier, so we'll see if they were right to do that as they lock in Clefable and Pikachu here as their final picks. I have to say, looking at this squad on Tuzzy Esports, I have no idea how they're going to do enough damage to Luminosity. This is a very low damage composition.
Yeah, well, you've got the stacking Greedent, so maybe you put a little bit of hope there. You hope you kind of go into a hard carry Jandeko Mew. And Kyrios is getting the last pick of the draft and locking in Lucario, which is a bit surprising to me. And I think if Luminosity can at least handle the Greedent, they're going to be in good shape.
So Overlord moving over to Lucario, one of his signature Pokemon. In year 1 of Pokemon Unite, Lucario was just about everything and some of the best had to be the best on this Pokemon. Kyrios now taking the Ceruledge here, which is going to be interesting to see him kind of play that in a attacker role, right? We have Trainer up on the Mimikyu, and to the other side, as we talked about, Tuzzy, they have some great Pokemon here. They have Shutdown with Umbreon, with Pikachu. They have an Annoyance with Greedent. I just don't see where the core of their damage will come from this squad.
They can certainly throw a lot of static, pun intended, with Pikachu and crowd control that CC. But if there's no follow-up to take advantage of it, it kind of just, it's a flash in the pan. It's like, there it was, and okay, we're done here.
Yeah, as we get ready for our next match, our team's loading in here. If I'm Luminosity, after that first game, and then especially after this draft, which again, I think is a bit of a head-scratcher for Tuzzy, I'm feeling very good about heading into this next match here.
Yeah, I mean, a similar draft out of Tuzzy, though, dispatched Nouns when they had Darkrai. So maybe Tuzzy has a little bit more insight here. Maybe they've cracked the code on something that you and I aren't quite privy to, because they found themselves all the way to the grand finals, and that Greedent was a key component.
And here we go, game number 2 of our grand finals. Tuzzy Esports out of Brazil, your purple team. Luminosity Gaming from North America, your orange team. Luminosity up 1 game right now on Tuzzy Esports as we head here into game number 2 with a very interesting draft between these two teams. Some real different looks.
Yeah, Overlord quickly running by everybody just to start getting those stacks in. Meanwhile, we've got to defend the pad back the other way. No new news for these teams.
No, as you can see, we just have kind of the classic Lucario running past the enemy team, looking to stack up that attack weight and steal as much experience as they can. And now they're going to try to punish this Greedent. Greedent using the X speed right here, hoping to get away. They do secure the wild Pokemon experience on the side of Luminosity.
Yeah, and that's what's most important. Don't let them take everything from you here. As Overlord's quickly darting through, they might be able to get a Lel as they run through the speed flux zone, and Otter's just on the absolute chase, trying to chuck those big hamburger helper mitts that it carries. carries around.
Yeah, and there we go. Heading up to the top path here. Another great secure there by Overlord. Wild fun fact, so far during day 1 and day 2, 2,810 wild Pokemon have been knocked out. That's a lot of experience. That's a wild fun fact.
That is a wild fun fact indeed. Nice little push by Overlord to get the experience to their side of the map in the form of those birds. And now they're putting the Trainer's going to go down. Jam coming up his fall with all the pressure. Gendeco's there as well. Listen, we are questioning about how much damage they can do, but with enough persistence, they're able to find one. However, giving one right back the other way is not a great look. They're trapped. Overlord taking a ton of damage, and they go down with the Greedent pulling up.
Who was that silly caster earlier talking about not enough damage on the side of Tuzzy Esports? I swear some of these people have no idea what they're doing in the booth up there. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Oh,
okay,
geez.
so Roulette's going down in the bottom path as well. So, I mean, it's kind of going rough everywhere for Luminosity Gaming. Tuzzy Esports has a heck of a strategy here, and they're executing well. A little bit of a false start here by Trainer when they came over the Mimikyu kind of right in the middle of a blender, and they got knocked out. Now it's Tuzzy with all the impetus. Nice Solar Beam going to come through from Gendeco. They're going to put the pressure on, and we're speeding through into the back line. Volt Tackle kind of gets canceled out. Heavy Slam there, and a converted KO.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from Luminosity. You saw the safeguard onto Overlord as he jumped in with extreme speed Lucario, triggering those resets every time he was hitting a new Pokemon so he could continue dashing around the battlefield as they are now scoring in this top path. While that one fight looks pretty good for Tuzzy, this is looking great for Luminosity.
Yeah, I mean, they rolled up with all 5 and they said, let's just group up, let's make a push together and stop getting picked apart, because when they are found out as individuals, it's easy for Tuzzy to deal with them.
And take a look at this. Overlord scoring once again, stacking that attack weight again, giving him multiple levels of attack stat right there every time you're able to score up to 6 scores, which is what a lot of these top path Pokemon are looking to do right here. Heading into our bottom path, we now see Tuzzy Esports possibly mobilizing for this bottom Reggie. Ice has spawned here in the bottom path, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to fight over it. 4 members of Luminosity, 3 members of Tuzzy waiting on that Pikachu.
Max, nice little belch on top of Ice, getting some space, and here comes Overlord, and here comes Curious going straight into the back line. They're putting on damage. Lining up Ice is getting very low. The Secure is there, or a cannon out of Lucario to confirm that. Lel is low on HP. Shadow Sneak on them. Trainer goes in and locks in the KO. We're pushing forward. Southhouse trying to get it, but they're getting blocked back and away from the rest of their team. Overlord is still working through, and they're on the chase. Umbreon gets heavy slammed and has to separate. Electro Ball comes in, but that's just enough to keep the score. Shadow Sneak into the background. Is anybody going to follow through? No. Trainer decides not to commit. Another great heavy slam, another block, and now we're chucking lightning from the skies, Spraggles.
And here we go. Lucario jumping in, but not noticing the gravity, and Lucario gets taken down. Beautiful gravity by the Clefable. Lucario didn't have enough information. They jump in and get stunned in that zone. Pikachu moving forward, Mew moving forward as they're looking to fight on this goal zone. We have Curios showing up, but they might be too little too late as we are continuing this fight. Curios in trouble. Unite, move right back to them with Bliss Assistance, and we get a couple of KOs for Luminosity.
Nice little save by the Bliss Assistants here on Curious to make sure when they went into deep waters, they had a lifeboat to pull them back to shore, and they were able to get 3 KOs, protect that goal zone, and ultimately feel pretty good about that exchange.
Trying to chase this Greedent down is a little tricky. Greedent running through the squad, however, and it looks like the block is going to sort it out. Unite move from the Greedent, trying to get away from this and possibly defend this tier 1 goal zone. 1 point goes in from Slash, setting up a big overcap opportunity in this top path as we see Overlord dashing through the birds in a 1-horse open Lucario.
That was the thing that you said.
I got there.
Yeah, well, you did. You did something. Here we go. Regieleki quickly taken by Luminosity Gaming. The pressure is on. You see Southdale half HP. They are gone. Now we have a Thunderstorm by the Pikachu with the Engage. Right into a Power Nap back the other way by Snorlax. They're going to pop up Lel, and Overlord's living in the background here. They're living in the back door, and Curios finally figures out how to press some buttons, and they get a KO streak of 2. They are relentless here. These teams want to fight.
Yeah, they are brawling here on this top path. The Umbreon Unite move. We have Regieleki walking. Ideally, they don't want this to walk in for Tuzzy Esports because it means more scores for Luminosity. We have Slash staying here. He does have the opportunity to use Heavy Slam and block and try to position this in a way where Regieleki can walk in. We're going to see if Slash can make the play right now. Here comes the Heavy Slam. Here comes the block. It's not going to work. He's going to have to pull back, but it would have been very fun.
Yeah, fun fact indeed. Luminosity Gaming have caused their opponents a total of 18 minutes and 6 seconds of status effects during LAIC. Bring your full heals, folks.
Yeah, you're going to need some full heals, everybody. It's going to be tough to deal with Luminosity out here, as here we could have another status effect, as that Mimikyu would jump in and cause a fear effect onto the Greedent if they decide to fight.
Otter just hanging out. Really, they're just gaining vision so they can position around the rest of the map. Slash immediately goes in, goes for a block to try and pin everybody towards Luminosity. Ceruledge unite for a couple. Thunderstorm back the other way to keep them standing. Slash with the follow-up. Overlord with the pressure. They go in and work right past the gravity. Not going to be held down today as they are getting pushed back. Bliss assistance just in time as Overlord keeps going deeper. KO streak at 2 for them, and they're chasing more. Finally, they take a deep breath. Shadow Sneak, crosstown shootout, so Trainer can get out of there too.
If you look at this match compared to game number 1, Tuzzy is definitely doing better on the scoreboard, but as these fights continue, it does feel like there are less and less options for them to somehow take down Luminosity. They are a pretty tanky squad. They have some great recovery on their side, and also, again, the damage from Tuzzy just feels a little underwhelming. We're going to see if they can make some big plays here as we get ready for this next LAIC spawning in the top path. Slash moving forward, setting up with a block, pushing the Greedent towards the squad.
That was a great catch if they could have converted on that. You understand what they're trying to do with that now. Volt Tackle goes in, doesn't quite deal too much to Slash. They're feeling comfortable, but they are peeling back towards their own Tier 1 goal zone here, giving Tuzzy Esports an opportunity on this LAIC if they want it.
Yeah, here we go. Tuzzy trying to fight near this Tier 1 goal zone, but it's going to give shields and healing to the side of Luminosity. Big time unite from the Pikachu, and they're going to pick up a KO. Snorlax with the power nap, trying to defend this goal zone, and that's another KO for Tuzzy.
Yeah, they're doing their quick math, making sure they can get as many points in as possible, but meanwhile, while that was happening, 100 points went in back the other way. Mimikyu for 50 and Kyrios on the Ceruledge for 50.
Yeah, huge scores there from Luminosity, so they decided instead of taking the fight, they were going to wear down Tuzzy in that Tier 1 goal zone, and they were going to score on the other side. They are now up over 100 points as we get ready for Rayquaza. 10 seconds now until Ray hits the board, and this is the big moment in a match of Unite. You need to be the team that wins near Ray. We have the Shadow Sneak onto Clefable. Obviously, Trainer is not going to want to jump in there. As Luminosity turns right on Rayquaza, they look for the rip right away, and they take it immediately.
Oh man, just ripping the cloth off the dinner table while Tuzzy Esports was sitting there waiting for a meal. They didn't even get a chance to get a sniff. Now they're going to score a ton of points. The burgers have been cooked up. They're being served, but that dinner cloth is gone. These goal zones are gone, and Luminosity Gaming is cruising to a Game 2 win.
I mean, if you don't show up to Rayquaza, a team can take it right in front of you, and that's exactly what Luminosity did. Tuzzy was not in position for it. They played their advantage. They pushed immediately onto Rayquaza. No one there to stop them, and there you have it. Luminosity taking game number 2.
They are approaching the game in new and clever ways. You actually saw Slash expose themselves to get vision on every member of the opposing team. That Shadow Sneak that hit Lel and forced out the gravity means that they didn't have a good way to engage themselves, and right when that happened and that gravity was down and there was no opportunity for Tuzzy to go anywhere because the Snorlax had full vision, of course you just rip it. Everybody else was there but Slash, and it makes it easy work.
Yeah, it makes it easy work. You get a lot of information with a Shadow Sneak. Slash knows exactly where they all are, and it's going to be extremely unlikely that Tuzzy can get there in time, and it's something that a lot of teams would not expect, right? A lot of teams would not expect that the team that is already ahead is going to put themselves in possibly a dangerous position by going for Rayquaza right away. But Luminosity, they are just, you know, so smart when it comes to a play like that. They are so aware that there's nothing that Tuzzy can do because they're in such a bad position.
Listen, you and I have cast a couple big grand finals, and I'm really hoping this doesn't square up to be like the other ones, those absolute 3-0 sweeps. Tuzzy Esports going to need this Brazilian crowd to hype them up, get behind them, and try to build some of this momentum. Because like LG said, you know, you're going to need more than the fans to get this done, but they certainly don't help.
Yeah.
Or they certainly do help. They do help. I promise you, the crowd helps.
One horse open sleigh, you know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we each get one. We each get one. Right now, it looks like Luminosity Gaming is marching away with the goal. Tuzzy Esports needs to adjust. They need to get the crowd behind them, and they need to build themselves a little bit of confidence. They went back into what has been working for them all weekend long. Luminosity Gaming clearly studied tape. They had a clear understanding of what was going on and how they were going to counterpunch that. And looks like we're into the next draft, into Game 3, which could be our last game of Unite at LAIC.
That's right. This could be our last match here as Tuzzy is on the ropes, the last remaining team from Brazil against the former champs from North America. Luminosity banning out the Slowbro and Darkrai. On the other side, Tuzzy banning out the Leafeon and now Mimikyu. They do not want to deal with Trainer's Mimikyu, and we haven't seen much else from Trainer. So we know Trainer's Leafeon's amazing. We know Trainer's Mimikyu's amazing. So we're going to see what else they want to bring out here. We've seen Trainer on lots of things throughout the years. Zoroark, that he actually is hovering right now, is kind of a staple for Trainer, but I don't know if they're going to be bringing it out here in game number 3 or not.
I actually like this first Miraidon pick here. It's something they've been using well, and Tuzzy has been using well. So selected for you, so you make sure you have it. Auto-grabbing Mew as well, because we just saw Jendeko trying to cut them off of that pick. So lock up some of your core pieces, and we know the rest of these players can go in any direction.
Yeah, we've got the Blissey here on the side of Tuzzy. It's a very powerful choice, and it has that game-changing, it has that game-changing Unite move. But now they are pairing it with Mewtwo Y, it looks like. Which is going to be very interesting. Mewtwo Y paired with Blissey's Helping Hand was a monster in your solo queue games, and now you're going to see it up on the big stage. There have been a lot of questions as to whether or not Mewtwo would make its way into the meta now that it was finally allowed to play with the rest of the roster. Well, we're going to find out here today.
Slashcane getting Umbreon, and they might be one of the best Umbreons on the planet.
Yes.
Especially last year. They look great on that Pokemon. And probably a Water Bear again out of Overlord here. We've got a 3-headed bird and a Blaziken. So really high octane picks to round out Tuzzy Esports, and Trainer quickly goes back to the Zoroark. These teams are going to fight.
Yeah, this is going to be a brawl. Overlord on that Urshifu. Slash again on one of the best Pokemon that he can play. Trainer, of course, settling into that comfort pick of the Zoroark. On the other side, you've got top-tier Pokemon. Blaziken, which I think has been underutilized in this tournament. Dodrio, my absolute favorite in Pokemon Unite, inside Pokemon Unite. Dodrio, the 3-headed bird, the 3-hatted bird, the 3-bandana bird on the side of Tuzzy Esports. Is it going to be enough to stop Luminosity Gaming? Will this Mewtwo Y actually be able to get something done? We're going to find out. That is, interestingly enough, an EXP share on the Mewtwo Y.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at this Mamoswine, and it's going to be stacking, and it's going to be going for some damage as well. So Tuzzy Esports pulling out all the stops, going deep into the guidebook here, into their own strategy guide, and seeing what they can pull out to at least take one off Luminosity Gaming and keep Brazil's hopes alive.
Now the momentum is obviously fully on the side here of Luminosity as they get ready for this next game. Everything comes down to this for Tuzzy Esports. They have to win 3 in a row to take these grand finals. Sounds impossible, but it's been done before. In fact, it's been done before against Luminosity Gaming. So this is not an impossible task, but it's going to be tough because Luminosity is playing like the former world champs that they are. As we head into game number 3, Tuzzy Esports out of Brazil, your purple team. Luminosity Gaming from North America, your orange team. Everything on the line for Tuzzy, and this could be their last chance here at LAIC.
We've got a bunch of comfort picks on the side of Luminosity. We hopefully have got a bunch of comfort picks on the side of Tuzzy. They're all bringing incredibly powerful Pokemon here. And now it's all coming down to this. Tuzzy Esports back against the wall. They need this win.
Let's talk a little bit about the ban meta we've seen throughout this tournament. Top 4 Pokemon to be banned: Darkrai, Blissey, Leafeon, and Mimikyu. And we saw a ton of them here. I think Blissey is an absolute force, and of course, Darkrai is just so incredibly powerful right now.
But you can see the strength of building teams that fade away from something like Blissey. I mean, LG has barely chosen Blissey. They've actually leaned more into like Mew and Hoopa. So if they get a Blissey, great. If they don't, all right.
I think what we're seeing out of Luminosity right here feels like what we've seen from some of the great teams of all time. Of course, Luminosity being one of them. Fennel recently at the World Championships felt like they could flex to just about anything as Dodrio heads down here to the bottom path. Kind of a sneaky play from Tuzzy, seeing if they can make something happen. They do take a lot of this experience as they push towards this goal zone. A lot of teams fighting that top path, but it looks like this Dodrio is looking to make some hammock. Hammock? Okay, goodbye.
Looking to make some hammock, some ham and cheese, some something.
I wanted to say havoc.
You got there. once you corrected yourself like 4 times. Gen Deco coming through. Did you see Falb on the poach on Slash Can? Couldn't quite convert on the KO, but it removed them from the equation, which allowed them to push a little bit further. Now, the fact that they didn't leave with anything after that is what gives me concern.
Dodrio keeping up with levels here, now level 6. We have Gen Deco getting caught here as Overlord heads towards the central area now of Tuzzy, something that this Urshifu can do very well. They're looking to take away some of these buffs from the other side. 8 minutes on the clock, which means these birds have spawned in the central area here. Foul being pushed back with that light screen as we have Slashcan zoning out so they can get all of this wild Pokemon experience. Perfectly played there by Luminosity.
Yeah, I mean, hitting that foul play, great engage by Trainer. Falb has to run away. They actually have to split apart so they don't give up 2 KOs if they decide to pursue. Trainer going right back up top. Falb still just a combustion. Ugh. As they're going to have to try and contend with the much stronger Pokemon sitting across the way. Numbers, however, will help.
Yeah, take a look at this here. A level 8 right now on Trainer in that top path. Level 7 for the Urshifu. This is just going to be really tough for Tuzzy. That Zoroark will rip them apart given the opportunity, and they're looking to move in, and they make their combo, but don't pick up a KO.
No, but in the face of 4v2, nice Ice Fang reposition. That's a quality KO to pick up and a lot of good experience. Slash is trying to protect this thing, but they are 4v1 here. They're just trying to run around an A-press so these scores don't go in. They are unsuccessful. That thing is broken in their face, and now the score lead is on Tuzzy Esports side.
Beautiful stuff from Tuzzy. They are waking up, getting out of that hammock, and they are ready to fight here in the top path in the central area. Trainer coming down using the Unite move, but they beautifully distance themselves from it as Mewtwo looks to pull forward and get a KO. They decide to back up given their HP is low. We have Slash and Trainer moving forward. Kyrios trying to chase them out, and it looks like they're going to be able to make it away from that engagement. Beautiful stuff there from Tuzzy.
When Zoroark used that Unite move and popped everybody down to 15% HP, that is the moment that Zoroark's dream for. However, Tuzzy at least adjusted well. Every player running in a different direction, so the Zoroark couldn't combo through all of them, and they only left with 1 KO. Charge Beam is right on target, secured by Trainer, and now they're going to go for a fight here. The Thunder's chasing Southtown. We have the Unite move out of Slash, and they're going to use that to push. Oh man, there's the Overlord Unite for 11 hits, 12 hits, gets a KO. Now they're pushing on pad. The follow-up is there. Trainer's looking for their way in. They see the Blaziken in there, and they're able to get the KO with the support of Kyrios. The goal zone is gone, and all of a sudden, that point lead swings the other way as another player for Tuzzy goes down.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from Luminosity. A little bit of a tough fight, but they were able to dodge that Dodrio Unite move, and they were able to set up a really good moment for them. We have the Zoroark at level 11 right now, out-leveling Tuzzy by a considerable margin. If it goes down, that would be amazing for Tuzzy. If it's near them, however, it looks like every player on their squad could get KO'd.
Every time this Tuzzy Esports team tries to walk up, they are just eating a fully charged charge beam to the face, and you can't engage when half your HP bar is gone before you even get to press a button.
I gotta say, Slash now defending this tier 1 goal zone against multiple members of Tuzzy, deciding whether or not they want to move forward. One of the big plays that saved that Regieleki for them in the top path. Slash moving forward, making sure Blaziken couldn't get anywhere near it, pushing forward with the foul play right into the Snarl. Beautiful stuff from Slash. As we've said, one of the best to ever do it on the Umbreon.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it, period. 2-time world champion here. They're seeing Southtown taking a ton of damage, and that's actually a damaging Mamoswine, which means getting them put down is actually a source of damage that Tuzzy needs. Overlord going to scamper away here. Charge Beam Rhydon is on there. Trainer's working through, and they're going to secure another one. We are just going to put the pressure on here. Mamoswine Unite is popped, and they're trying to go on the chase because Overlord's in the back line. They're going to try and make a difference. Crashing on Earth is the Mewtwo Unite, but it's not really stopping anybody. Otter is down. That's just the support. 2 players down the other way. Now they have Trainer a little low. KO Shrika 2, just kidding. Rack him up for a couple more. The whole team is wiped. This is a game 3 for LAIC Championship, and Luminosity Gaming is making it like a pub.
Luminosity looking amazing here. That is a level 13 Zoroark right now. It will be 15 by Rayquaza. If they're able to shut it down, they have a chance right here, but it's so incredibly difficult. When the level lead gets this high, that Pokemon is just so much more powerful than the other side. The KOs, the wild Pokemon experience, the outplays has all put Luminosity in this position right now, and they are so good at keeping their powerful carry Pokemon fed, and you see it here in game number 3.
Mew Unite to just go in and find out where Falb is. Electro Ball and a boosted auto is going to bully Falb away from them, and you know, just using that now so they can get it back in time for Rayquaza.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock, which means a minute 30 till the possible last Rayquaza we will see at LAIC. We are going to find out if there's anything Tuzzy can do to stop the former world champs. And right now, it looks like they're running out of options.
Running out of options indeed. Their next option is taking Ray. They're going to need it. They're down by 150 points. Another engagement on South Tao. Ice Fang doesn't hit anything, not a soul in sight. So they're charging up an overheat that's not going to find anyone either. Looks like Tuzzy Esports is just trying to chuck stuff and see if anything will land. They're able to pick up a KO on Curios. That's pretty good. They're collapsing on the goal zone, also good. They're getting backdoored by Trainer though, and here they come. They're trying to rip through this Mewtwo. They are going to be successful. Peeling to their side of the map is great. KO Shriek a 2 for Trainer. They're coming alive. And they're on the chase. They don't care anymore. They think they've got every fight they want to take, and I believe them. South Tao is low. Ice Fang reposition doesn't matter. Now Otter's going aggro on Falb the Blaziken. They serve through just to get them put down. KO Streak of 4 for the Zoroark, and Mew tags one up as well.
They still could not pick up the KO on Trainer. They expended a Dodrio Unite move for it. They're looking for him with Mamoswine. They just can't seem to lock this Pokemon down. Level 14 for the Zoroark, level 14 for the Urshifu, level 13 for the Miraidon, and it is looking grim for Tuzzy Esports. They're going to need to make a miracle play here at Rayquaza because their tournament is on the line. The championship is on the line right now. They have to catch a member of Luminosity and pick up a huge KO. If they can, possibly they can win. Luminosity getting aggressive and moving in now.
Ice Fang reposition, that's the opportunity they want. Mewtwo Unite hits a bunch of people. They're actually sending all of Luminosity scrambling. Overlord goes down. Bliss Assistance just
Trainer's
in time,
down.
and it's saved. There's 2 players down. They're on the chase. It's on Curios using the Miraidon Unite, but to no value. Falb carried up that Bliss Assistance and used it well. Now they're trying to get in the back line. Charge Beam finds. Now it's 3 players down, 2 players down for Tuzzy, 2 players down for Luminosity Gaming. Take a deep breath. We're going to have to re-engage.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to refight this, which is actually a nightmare for Tuzzy right here. They finally got the Urshifu. They finally got the Zoroark, and now they're going to have to re-engage on this squad. Dodrio having to run. Blaziken's HP is very low. Mamoswine looking for a possible way to start this fight. The side strike from Mewtwo. Mamoswine moving in. Luminosity zoning them to this small choke point right here.
Overlord still has their Unite move, and I think they're looking for a way in. They see it. They're going straight for him. Comboing up. Dodrio is down, but so is Otter. Oh, South Tao used their Unite move. Didn't find anybody, but Overlord finally hits that Unite button. They're going to try and close it out on Yell, going to Jandeko. South Tao jumps in for the save. Overlord is low again. They have to scramble away. Charged up overheat. Doesn't hit anybody. Overlord's going straight to score. Here comes Trainer. He's cleaning up the trash. Call him the street sweeper because Tuzzy Esports has just been buckled in Brazil.
That's right. Luminosity Gaming with 30 seconds left on the clock, taking down every member of Tuzzy Esports, doing it in dramatic fashion as only Luminosity can. The former world champs will now become the champs here at LAIC as our last 15 seconds count down. Tuzzy with an incredible run, the hope for Brazil, but unfortunately it was dashed by some of the greatest to ever play the game. Tuzzy put up a valiant fight, but nothing could stop them. Once again, your former world champs are your LAIC champions, Luminosity!
Welcome back, Luminosity Gaming, after what was a year off completely, it felt like. They are back in true form. Otter and Trainer seem to be the last pieces of that puzzle to find their way back to glory here at LAIC and for the rest of this UCS season.